Hi, it's Pam from Blooming Buds Photography. So as you can see, I am outside of my studio here with my husband Randy, who's recording. I've been meaning to get a video done, and now that I have my YouTube channel going, I definitely wanted to get it going and put up on there. But I have a lot of people on social media ask me, you know, what did you make this from? Did you buy it like that? You know, a lot of different questions, from how do you get the electrical wiring in to how big is it, what's the length, what's the height. So I wanted to make this video and kind of let everybody know. I'm going to go through as many details as I can think of while we walk through. If I forget something, my husband Randy is going to give me a reminder, so that could be his voice you hear when I skip something. I'm going to try to go through everything. So we figured we'd start in the back, obviously labeled, all four sides. Yes, all four sides? Is it on the front? All three sides.
Yes.
It's not on the front. We have a backup camera. That helps when we're backing up into our own driveway, which is where we are right now, or especially clients' driveways where we're not too familiar with the area. So we have a view of this entire area. Also, while he's driving, you can keep a good eye on any cars behind us or anything like that. We recently added this nice reflective tape all the way around. We mainly wanted to do that for when we're parked. A lot of times our clients live on nice little side roads where there's plenty of room for us to be on the side of the road. If they don't, especially if they don't have a long driveway or anything that's wide enough for us, we pull right on the side of the road. And anything we can do for safety, we have cones that we put out as well. And Randy is outside in the pickup truck while I'm inside with my client, so he keeps an eye on things. But any safety precaution we can take while we have babies in the studio, we want to take. So kind of as we go along, we keep thinking of ways to make that better. So that's kind of the back here. So we'll go around to the side. And we have a nice light for when it's dark out. This is a nice bright light. We installed, and when I say we, I mean my husband Randy. We means Randy. Randy installed this nice handle. We had originally went with this one, and we're kind of like, okay, sometimes when clients are coming up and down, especially with babies, that they kind of just grabbing for this little one. So we went with this big guy, and when we're driving, it just flips right in and it's locked. So I'm kind of going to show you everything. We have a lot of things like this because we drive. We have to have things that are secure while we're driving, but also secure while they're, you know, in action. So we'll go through a lot of that too. So we have a nice steady stool that we always put down, and Randy also recently installed this window. I say recent, but maybe a few months ago. Yeah, a few months ago. This door did not come with a window at all. So originally he cut his own space out for the window, and originally we had just a regular window. We figured just to kind of be able to look out and see when the clients would come in. Then as we went on, especially springtime and fall when we didn't really need AC or heat, we have a fresh air circulator in there, but we also needed to be able to open a window. So we bought another window, and he had to tweak that a little bit because it didn't quite fit in the hole. But now we have, which I can show you on the inside, we have a window with a screen that actually opens. The light, I mentioned the light.
Good.
Mentioned the light, okay. So now we have our front end, and well, this is our electrical box, and while we're home, we have that plugged in, so we don't have to run the generator when we're using it, because obviously I'm out here a lot while it's home too, cleaning, getting ready for next sessions. Sometimes I come out here just to kind of get things together, and it's just a nice place to sit. Then here's our generator. This we looked through quite a bit before we actually made this purchase. We needed one that was going to be strong enough to power the whole studio, especially with heat and air conditioning running. Then with air conditioning running, I run a space heater for the newborns. So he decided to go with this one. It's nice and quiet. I do have another video up on YouTube of it actually running, and you can hear me completely over it. That's how, you know, for a generator, it is very quiet. And this is the pickup we tow it in. Our cones are in here, so we bring those out when we're setting up. Also our wheel chocks for the studio wheels. My daughter Lizzie, who's my assistant for all of our newborn sessions, she's usually in charge of those. She puts them in between the wheels. So I think that's it for out here. So it is 102 today with the heat index. So let's go inside. Okay. So this is kind of what we see when we're walking in. And we got our handles. Oh yeah. And it's always nice. Right now it is nice and cold in here. Quick little glance all around, and then we'll take our little walk around. So, oh well, here's the window I was talking about. So when the weather's nice, or when we have the heat on in the winter, because obviously I work with mainly newborns in here or 1-year-olds, and with the parents being in this area while I'm over there with the baby, usually when it gets too warm and it starts to feel like they need some air, they're able to crack this and get some nice cool air in. So it's very nice. And of course when it's just nice out, it's great. So starting in this, so here is one of our main
Light switches.
light switch.
It's okay.
My head was thinking electrical box, but we're not there yet.
It's okay. It's okay.
So we have a couple different things on outlets. We have a few different overhead lights. This is actually for the outside light. And before we drywalled everything, Randy did all the electrical, put in all the outlets all around the studio. We have multiples all around. And then he put the drywall up over the wires that were ran. So if anybody wants to know how that was done, then that definitely came first.
Was actually paneling. Keep down the weight.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
paneling, not
No
drywall.
drywall. It probably cracked going down the road.
Yep, that's another thing we had to, with everything in mind. We have this nice cabinet set here with everything in mind. We had to keep in, we had to keep in mind weight with everything that we did. This wasn't here. This shelf he built completely from scratch, and obviously we have this nice lightweight wire thing for some of my newborn outfits. All of our canvases, we kind of just sticking with canvases instead of going with frame prints, again, for weight. But coming back to this area, we have, so with our light switch, we actually do have an electrical box, which usually is something people are curious about and want to see. So that's kind of over here. So I just crawl in. We have 3 different switches. We've got the outlets on one, the AC on the other one, and inside lights. So we just flip those on once the generator's running or we're plugged in, which, like I said, we're plugged in when we're home. We have, being mobile, we kind of just have to tuck things where we can tuck them while we're driving. And obviously this is a small space being mobile. So we kind of just make do with the space we have. And when I'm doing certain sessions, I swap things out. We bring stuff inside. Right now I have a bunch of props kind of hanging around just so I can show you how we kind of store them and where we put them when we're not using them. But we have this little, and again, it's plastic. We kind of found something that looked nice, but plastic to be lightweight. And these drawers are all clipped in so they don't open up. But I have my posing beans in here, towels for posing, some little teddy bears, all stuff like that. I have some more posers up here, but same thing with these 2 drawers. I have some extra blankets and wraps and stuff like that. There's a beach ball in here that was for a little boy yesterday, so that happens. There's always stuff hanging around. A lot of my parents with newborns come in and their siblings as well. So usually mom or dad, usually dad will kind of be back and forth with them in the house, or mom, whoever wants to kind of take turns, but usually they want to come out and see what's going on with baby. So there's some toys in there, some books I can show you, but this is a recent purchase I grabbed from Hobby Lobby, so it's going to keep me out of Hobby Lobby. But we have a stool back here, which we also have strapped in. Again, all this for travel, so all of our stuff is strapped down. I use this for family sessions, especially when moms or dads are taller. This is our cabinet. We got some storage up there with a little lip so nothing flies over. We have a paper towel holder there. Just everything. We need paper towel for everything. We got our little lamp that is, of course, as you know, that's Velcroed down or glued down, however he did it. And then our cabinet doors would of course fly open, and everything would go flying every time we pulled out the driveway. But this is what we got. Right now, I mean, eventually I want to find some cute baskets, but probably this works better because it's lightweight. I have some first birthday prop stuff in here. There's a bunch of balloons in here. I supply newborn and size 1 diapers, and my moms love that because even though we're outside of their house, if that baby needs to be changed, more times than not, they'd have to bring them in or go grab a diaper, and we have all that right behind Randy, so we'll come to that next. I have this little guy, sometimes he comes out. But yeah, just all stuff like that, our little broom. This is kind of where we put, you know, I always have my Lysol wipes and my hand sanitizer out, but this is where all this goes once we are done with the session. And this was out from yesterday's cake smash, but I finally bought my little fairy lights that I've been wanting to pick up, and finally found exactly the ones I wanted, so you'll be seeing a lot of those. So, all right, so right above my head, actually, I have our heating and air conditioning unit. So obviously this wasn't here, nor was there a space for it when we bought it. So Randy and my dad cut a hole in the top of the roof, just like they did with the door. And the day they hoisted that thing up there was scary, okay? It was very heavy. And my dad was on the back of Randy's pickup truck. Randy was on a ladder. And I was standing on the ground with my hands up just to give any little extra support I could so neither one of them fell back, and it was scary. Luckily, that went up and we were good. But we have the remote for that over here. And I don't need to explain all the buttons, but this is heat and air conditioning, or it's just an air circulation. So if we don't need heat or AC, we'll open this window, circulate the air. We also got a fan in here, just in case, you know, anybody needs just a little bit of, you know, more circulating air in their corner. I always tell my my parents that this is theirs to operate. If they feel cold, they can blow it towards that way. If they feel warm, they can blow it straight down towards them. It's on 68 right now because it's hot out and there's no babies in here. But normally when I have a baby in here and it's hot out, I leave it at 70, sometimes 71 depending. But I have a space heater that kind of goes in my section. So my parents stay pretty comfortable, obviously knowing that it can't be that cold in here because their baby would be cold, but they stay comfortable enough and the baby stays warm with me. So this is their seats. I sometimes even use these during sessions. This is our portable, I mean our,
A mobile stand or transport stand.
A transport stand, yeah. My light box normally during sessions will sit on a rolling stand, which is behind Randy, so I'll show you that in a minute too. But for driving, it stays nice and steady on this one, so we have no accidents because, yeah, this bad boy can't fall and break. So right here is our changing table. So I knew we needed a changing table because when we first rolled this studio out, I did not have one. And my poor parents had to, you know, they could lay the baby over the beanbag or on the floor on them, but I did not want to see them bending over or even getting down on the floor on their knees. That was killing me. So I said, we need a changing table. So we found this great one on Amazon. And again, Randy installed hooks so we can have that strapped right to the wall. And this comes down just like that. And obviously opens fully and locks. I have this here that can be laid on, laid right down on it, and that can be washed. So I do wash that every time a baby uses it. I also supply wipes and, like I said, my diapers. So all of those are right here. And my parents I absolutely love it. And I love being able to say, oh no, you don't have to run into the house. Grab a diaper, they're right here. As long as your baby uses Pampers or Pampers or Huggies, I usually have one of those. So that's nice. And then that just goes right back together when they're done to keep our space clear. Right now we're looking for some type of holder somewhere for all of our flowers. And right now they're kind of just shoved in here. I have some over there, I have some over there. So they're kind of like in need of a home. But I have some little toys in here. I have some books. And actually most of the books I have actually, well, a couple of them, are actually written by a friend of mine. So, Corey Ann Abreu, and she wrote a couple, and they're on Amazon. So they're really cute books. Our kids used to play together when they were little. You have a step stool here, again, mounted to the wall. This is for mainly when my parents are in the sessions with the baby. That ball keeps rolling around. I need to be above them. So if they're taller than me, which I'm not short, but I feel like most men are, at least most men are taller than me. So I always have to get up on that stool a little bit. We have a rack for headbands and bows. We have a rack for very many wraps. And I'm nowhere near done collecting wraps. So, I mean, eventually we're going to have a room in our house overflowing with stuff like this too, because I mean, I never want to weed it out because I feel like I never have enough. So, before we move on here, I'll move this out of the way. So this is my stand, and the wheels lock. So all the times through the session, they're locked. But before I want to lock it, I get it where I want it. This is my big umbrella, and I'm not going to open that up right now because, well, I mean, I guess I can kind of half open it up. But this umbrella goes over my light, and it is very big. So I'm not going to open it up all the way, but that goes there, and then that sheet goes over the top to diffuse the light to give us a nice soft light. So that goes on here, and once I got it positioned, that kind of locks up and doesn't move. This way, when I'm working with the baby on the beanbag, it can be over here. When I move over here, it moves with me. So, well, if you look on this wall, we just got more, you know, little carpets and wraps and all that good stuff. Also on our list of where to put stuff is, you know, all this stuff needs a home. It's currently just hanging over more of my wraps and stuff like that. So that's okay. So now we'll come here. When I do a newborn session, I always start with the beanbag. We've kind of just, you know, we tweak things as we go, so we can figure out what works for us and what doesn't, considering that we have this space. So it's kind of like when you, I guess, renovate like a tiny home. You have to just kind of figure out everything that's going to go where and be able to put it away so it can be completely out of the way. So this is how I start. We used to have this big contraption that the beanbag goes in the middle, and I was able to pull my wraps up like this over it. And then when I was done, I had to take it all apart, and Randy would come in and get it. That was a hassle. I always had to make sure the baby went back with their parents and just start pulling poles out, and it wasn't efficient. So now, when we start with baby on the beanbag and we're finished, we can just So Randy installed this guy. So this is basically what I need for my beanbag setup. I need two sides and a back pole. So this is obviously secured to the wall. And once we're done with the beanbag posing, Lizzie, my assistant, texts Randy, who's outside in his truck, and tells him we're all set. And he comes and gets the beanbag. So that takes the beanbag out of the equation. And then, show you guys. We have this, obviously doesn't move, and we have these clips that hold it still, and then we open it up and clip it back. Another Randy project, as I'm sure you're starting to see a trend by now, that he is quite savvy with these things and comes up with a lot of great ideas to make this all work better. So same thing here. And the clip goes in, and now nothing's moving. This can't pop out. A little, toddler can't pull it out, and mom will trip over it or anything like that. So you know, as we go along and we try to do these things, we try to do them for space, and they need to be used what they're going to be used for, but then we also have to think about safety of the babies and toddlers and parents while they're in here, you know, being no tripping hazards or anything like that, because, you know, we're in a small space, so everybody's going to kind of, you know, when I'm doing my newborn sessions, you know, it's just me right here with the baby, and parents get to sit right here behind me, and they get to watch the whole time. So they usually love it, and I tell them to sit back, unless mom's breastfeeding. I usually take care of the baby, and they get to sit back and relax. The last mom I had in here said, I am loving just being able to sit here, and I ended up feeding the baby halfway through the session. She needed to eat. I changed her diaper. You know, I'll take the baby and you just relax and enjoy the session, because it is sweet and it goes by so fast, so it's nice. So back to where we were. These are just all my clips for my backdrops. So, all right, so now once beanbag's moved and I'm doing the newborn, I work in this area. My lights, this light always stays off because the glare with the flash is not good from regular overhead lights. But right now I just have obviously the gray paneling down, but sometimes I'll pull the paper, see the seamless paper backdrops down to have that over it. I don't always have this many props out here for one session, so it doesn't look like this, but I just figured I'd show a few of them. So a couple of little props. I have this lovely heart bowl that I think I finally want to paint a different color. I'm just not sure what color I want to paint it yet. You know, some buckets, and actually this was just out from the first birthday session I did yesterday, along with this basket and a couple of first birthday props in there. That little stool is my little 1-year-olds. I love to stand them up against it when they don't quite stand and walk on their own yet, and they're a little wobbly. They stand against that, and it's so cute. But I also sit on that for the newborn session. So that stool is worth gold. So up here, we installed first of all, there's another outlet up here for these lights that backlight the backdrops. But we installed this system right here, and it holds 3 backdrops at a time. This one's pulled down right now. We have other backdrops. We have other seamless paper backdrops stored back here. So we can kind of switch them out, but we can leave 3 up there at a time. And obviously, as you see, we have them Velcroed so they don't roll down on us during transport. And these actually just very nicely come up and down with this system right here. So it's pretty cool. It's nice and easy to use. We bought this green screen quite a while ago. Haven't done anything with it yet, but we're determined to one day do something fun with it. I don't know, and then maybe offer some like cool sessions with a cool backdrop, but we're gonna play around with that a little bit more. So that ends in the back. This back obviously drops out if we ever needed it to. Obviously for a session or with anybody in here, we wouldn't need it to, but it does. And yeah, when we bought this studio or this trailer, it was just an empty box. We looked around, we're in Rhode Island, for anybody who doesn't know, but we looked around for a good deal up here and couldn't really find one. We knew we needed one brand new, because obviously some people use these for lawnmowers and, you know, God only knows what's in here and seeped into the wood underneath, so we knew we had to buy brand new. We looked around and ended up finding the best deal down in Pennsylvania. I don't remember the city off the top of my head. I don't remember. But we took the 5 or so hour drive down there with the pickup truck and bought this thing. I was very excited. We looked into a lot of different things we could have done to make a mobile studio, and we figured this was the best bet, and Randy figured this was, you know, definitely something he could transform. I mean, he did moldings. I mean, I don't know if there's anything else, Randy, that you can think of that you did when putting all this together.
Insulated the ceiling.
Yep, we're insulated.
Crown molding actually doubles as a wire chase for a lot of electrical.
Yep, that's right.
Chair rail molding with wainscoting. One of the outlets that was installed.
Yeah, so if anybody has any other questions on how we did anything, or any questions about anything, all in all, when this, you know, from the purchase of this trailer to the complete, you know, to what you see now, we kind of figuring around 15,000 altogether, if anyone's wondering. I do have a lot of people ask me, you know, how much did you pay for it? You know, it's hard to add up all the little things. So that's our best guesstimate, was around 15 grand when all is said and done, between everything we had to buy for it, the generator, the heater, AC, everything down to the, you know, the floor, obviously he put in, the paint, everything. So everything that we can think of, you know, and that's not including photography props. Like, obviously this is stuff that, you know, this is separate from what I'm talking about. So when I say 15,000, I don't mean anything that's in here, canvases, photography related, anything, just, you know, the studio itself, to get it to the point where it is a running studio with everything that you need, all the comforts of an actual studio. We have a carbon monoxide detector. You know, we're very safe in here. We have the output for, you know, we another thing too is to make sure that, you know, running a generator, there were never going to be any fumes that got in here. So, you know, we made sure of everything like that. So if there's anything else anybody can think of and wants to ask me, wherever I post this video, I know it's going on YouTube, and no matter where I post it, anybody can ask us anything, anything you can think of. I forgot about my little mirror here on my magnets and business cards, but definitely, and everything is, you know, nothing's hung, everything is two-way Velcro tape to the wall, so there's nothing gonna move. We definitely needed a mirror in here for parents who need to, you know, give themselves a quick look before going in. But yeah, that's oh wait, I forgot about my little bed prop. It's definitely a favorite of parents, and my little mattress and pillow set for it is new, so I wanted to make sure it got its debut in this little video. And I think that's it. So this is our studio. All right, bye.